Eli tightened his gloves as he stepped onto the observation deck of the space station. Beyond the glass, the alien world below spread like a living carpet of green and gold, oceans sparkling under two suns. His boots echoed softly on the metallic floor. As a human engineer, Eli had faced strange worlds before, but this one felt alive in a way he could feel in his bones. Every pulse of wind, every shimmer of the atmosphere seemed to whisper secrets only a visitor could notice. He moved toward the lab, a sleek chamber filled with machines that hummed quietly, almost like they were alive. In the center of the room sat his most recent project, a growth device. It looked like a simple cylinder at first glance covered in thin lines of glowing circuitry, but Eli knew better. This was not just a machine. It was a piece of human ingenuity designed to accelerate growth in alien environments. Plants, tissues, even synthetic biological materials could expand in seconds instead of days. In humanity's push to colonize distant worlds, this device might be the key to survival. Eli crouched and ran his hand along the device, checking its sensors. Everything was stable. He smiled, thinking of the experiments he had conducted back on Earth. Nothing compared to seeing it here, so close to alien life. He didn't hear the soft footsteps at first. When he looked up, he saw a small figure hovering just at the edge of the lab. The being was humanoid, but not human. Her skin shimmered faintly like light passing through thin glass, and her eyes were large glowing pools of curiosity. She moved with a grace that seemed impossible, floating instead of walking. Eli instinctively straightened. "Who are you?" he asked, careful not to startle her. "I am Lyra," the alien said in a soft voice that carried a musical tone. "I study the mysteries of life, and you touch the growth with your hands." Her gaze fell on the device, wide and sparkling. "Why?" Eli paused. "This is a growth device. It accelerates in life. Plants, tissues, sometimes even synthetic life forms. It's human technology." Lyra stepped closer, eyes fixed on the cylinder. "It moves when I approach." She stretched a delicate hand toward it. Eli frowned. The device was stable when no one touched it. But as soon as Lyra's fingers brushed the smooth surface, the lines of glowing circuitry pulsed faster. A faint hum filled the room, and a small vine-like tendril began sprouting from the top. It twisted and grew, spiraling upward in a matter of seconds. Eli's eyes widened. "That's impossible. It shouldn't react like that." Lyra giggled softly. "It likes me. Or perhaps it likes my touch." She leaned closer, studying the vine as it stretched toward her. "Human. Why does it grow when I touch it?" Eli shook his head, trying to understand. He had never seen anything interact with the device this way. "Your biology, your energy signature. It must be triggering something. But it shouldn't happen this fast. Not with a human-designed module." The vine grew longer, twisting into shapes that seemed almost artistic. Lyra reached out again, and the device responded immediately, tendrils dancing toward her fingers. Eli took a step back, heart pounding. This was more than an experiment. This was an unknown phenomenon, do you see? Lyra asked, her voice filled with wonder. "It grows. It changes. It listens to me." Eli nodded, though he wasn't sure he fully understood. "It's responding to something unique about you, something human technology can't predict." Lyra tilted her head, floating closer to the tendrils. "Human. You made this, yet it obeys more than you. I think it respects life itself." Eli swallowed. Maybe that's exactly what we designed it to do. But it's never done this before. I need to control it before it consumes more energy than the lab can provide." He reached for the control panel, typing in sequences to regulate the device. The humming grew louder, almost like a heartbeat, and more tendrils burst from the cylinder. Some reached for Lyra, some swirled around the lab, and Eli could feel the tension building. "Do not be afraid," Lyra said softly, reaching out as if to calm the device. "I am not afraid." Eli hesitated, then watched as she touched one of the tendrils. The moment she did, it slowed, curling gently around her hand instead of wildly spiraling. Eli's eyes widened. Her presence, her calmness, seemed to give the machine a new kind of awareness. This is incredible," he whispered. "It's responding to you. Not just your energy, but your mind. It's learning." Lyra's eyes shone brighter. "Learning? It can learn? Human. Your creation. It is alive in ways even you do not know." Eli couldn't argue. Watching the growth device interact with Lyra was like watching a child discovering itself. The vines, the circuits, the faint pulse of light. They all seemed to recognize her, respond to her curiosity. And in that moment, Eli realized something important. Humans had built a tool, but life, especially intelligent life, always had surprises. He adjusted the controls carefully, keeping the device stable but allowing it to grow slowly. Lyra floated above it, laughing softly as she traced patterns in the air. Each movement reflected in the glowing vines below. It was beautiful, a dance of human ingenuity and alien wonder. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. Red lights flashed across the lab, signaling an energy overload. Eli's heart raced. The growth device was drawing more power than the station could safely provide. If it didn't stop soon, it could damage the entire lab. "Lyra, step back," he shouted. She floated back but kept her eyes on the device, clearly reluctant to leave. Eli worked frantically, typing commands, rerouting power, and stabilizing the circuits. The vines writhed and twisted as if resisting, then slowly slowed under his precise adjustments. Finally, the hum softened, the lights returned to normal, and the lab was safe. Lyra exhaled, floating gently to Eli's side. "Human, you are brave. You faced the danger and saved life. Even your tools. They reflect your courage." Eli smiled, though his hands still shook. "It's not just me. You helped too. Without your calm, your understanding, the device might have destroyed itself." Lyra tilted her head, curiosity sparkling in her glowing eyes. "We understand each other, even across differences. You make life grow, and I bring it recognition. Perhaps this is the way humans and aliens can work together. I never thought such things were possible." Eli looked at the device. It was quiet now, glowing softly, almost like it was breathing. He reached out to touch it gently, and this time it responded calmly, a small tendril wrapping lightly around his finger. I think it trusts us," he whispered. Lyra nodded. "Then we must learn from it, together. You will show me your ways, human, and I will show you mine. Perhaps together we can create wonders beyond your world." Eli felt a warmth in his chest. Humans were clever, yes, but he had always wondered if their ingenuity could truly stand alongside alien intelligence. Now he knew. Standing in that lab, watching a human-designed device respond to an alien child's touch, he realized that humans could do more than survive in the galaxy. They could inspire. The rest of the day passed in a blur. Eli and Lyra experimented with the device carefully, documenting how her touch influenced growth patterns. They watched tiny plants sprout and expand, cellular structures forming in minutes that would take days on Earth. They laughed at unexpected twists and marveled at the beauty of it all. By the time the station's twin suns began to set on the alien horizon, the lab was a quiet garden of bioluminescent plants and softly glowing tendrils. Eli and Lyra stood side by side, exhausted but exhilarated. "Tomorrow," Lyra said, floating closer, "we tested outside the lab. On the world itself." Eli nodded, a mix of excitement and nervousness swelling inside him. The unknown was vast and dangerous, but with curiosity, courage, and cooperation, humans could face it. And perhaps, just perhaps, humans could teach the galaxy a thing or two about creativity and heart. For the first time in his life, Eli felt certain of one thing. This partnership, human and alien, curiosity and invention, was only the beginning of something far greater than either could imagine. And as the twin suns disappeared behind the horizon, the growth device pulsed softly, as if agreeing. The next morning, Eli arrived at the observation deck before the twin suns fully rose. The alien world below was bathed in soft golden light, the forests and rivers glinting like jewels. Eli carried the growth device carefully, its tendrils retracted into a compact form. Lyra floated beside him, her eyes glowing faintly with excitement. "Today we take it outside the lab," Eli said, his voice steady but filled with anticipation. "We'll see how it performs in the real environment. The air, the soil, everything will challenge it." Lyra nodded, hovering closer to the device. "The world will test your invention, and I will test my understanding of it. Together we will see what life can do." They stepped out of the station through an airlock designed for delicate biological experiments. Eli adjusted his visor as the alien atmosphere filled the chamber. Gravity here was slightly lower than Earth's, and the scent of unknown flora filled the air. He carefully placed the growth device on the soft, mossy ground. The device hummed softly, its circuits adjusting to the new environment. Eli activated the core, and a small pulse of light spread outward. Immediately, tiny shoots emerged from the soil around it, growing at astonishing speed. Leaves unfurled, twisting toward the suns, flowers blooming in patterns that resembled alien art. Lyra reached out and touched one of the vines. Instantly, it bent gently toward her hand, wrapping around her fingers without harming her. "It listens to you," Eli whispered. "Even here, it responds the same way." Lyra smiled, letting the tendril slide through her hands. "It is beautiful. Human, you created a tool that can nurture life in ways even we did not imagine. And yet, it learns from me. It combines your thinking and mine. Together, we create something new." Eli nodded, feeling a surge of pride. "That's the point. Humans adapt, and we make tools to adapt with us. But sometimes the tool itself learns more than we expect." As they explored, the device expanded its influence. Small patches of barren land began turning green, spores forming and sprouting into strange but harmonious plants. Eli watched in awe as alien flowers blossomed, their shapes unlike anything on Earth. Lyra traced the growth with her hands, giggling softly as colors shifted and patterns changed with every touch. But as the day went on, Eli noticed something troubling. The device began to draw more energy than expected from the surrounding environment. The soil's nutrients were being absorbed rapidly, and some patches that had seemed healthy were now thinning under the stress. "Lyra," Eli said, pointing at the affected areas. "It's overextending itself. If we're not careful, we could harm this ecosystem instead of helping it." Lyra's eyes widened, concern replacing her usual wonder. "Human, what do we do?" "The device. It listens to me, but it also grows beyond our control." Eli thought quickly. "We need to teach it balance. Growth is important, but life requires restraint. I'll adjust the energy output, and you, guide it with your touch." Slowly. For hours they worked together. Eli managed the technical side, rerouting energy flows and calibrating the device to prevent excessive absorption. Lyra moved gently among the new plants, her hands hovering over vines and blooms, calming the rapid growth with subtle gestures. Gradually, the wild growth slowed. The barren patches now thrived with balanced, healthy plants. Eli exhaled, wiping sweat from his brow. "We did it. Look at this," Lyra floated over, eyes sparkling. "It is alive. But more than that, it is a partnership. Human and alien working together." As the suns began to set, a new challenge appeared. A shadow passed over the forest, sleek, mechanical, and deliberate. Eli squinted and saw a fleet of alien drones approaching, scanning the terrain. They were armed, and their intentions seemed hostile. "They want the device," Lyra whispered, tension in her voice. "They think it is dangerous. Or valuable for war." Eli's heart pounded. "We can't let them take it. Not like this. If they weaponize it, the life we've nurtured will be destroyed." He activated the device defensively. Tiny growths sprouted rapidly around them, forming walls of thick vines and bioluminescent shields. The drones hovered closer, scanning the area, but the sudden burst of controlled vegetation confused their sensors. Eli and Lyra moved among the growing barriers, carefully guiding each tendril and leaf to block and redirect the intruders. The drones fired, but their energy beams were deflected by the living shields. Eli marveled at how quickly the device adapted, following his adjustments and Lyra's intuitive guidance. They were not just defending themselves, they were teaching the forest to protect itself. Lyra reached out to Eli's hand. "Human, it is learning from danger now. From us. Together we are more than invention and curiosity. We are guardians." Eli nodded, determination hardening his features. "Then we will guard life. Humans are clever, yes, but we are brave too. And sometimes, that's enough to face anything." As the drones attempted to maneuver around the barriers, the device sent out rapid bursts of light, confusing their targeting systems. Some drones collided harmlessly with the alien flora, entangled in rapidly growing vines. Eli and Lyra guided the growth to safely disable them without causing permanent harm. Finally, the remaining drones retreated, their mission incomplete. Eli lowered his arms, exhaustion and relief washing over him. Lyra floated beside him, smiling, her glowing eyes soft. "They will not return. Not easily," Eli said. "But we must be ready. The galaxy will notice humans who can create life, and some will want to control it." Lyra nodded. "And we will show them what humanity can do, not through force but through ingenuity, care, and courage. We protect life. We nurture it. That is your strength." Over the next few days, Eli and Lyra continued to explore the world with the device. They restored damaged ecosystems, helped alien flora adapt to environmental shifts, and even observed animals interacting with the newly grown plants. Each experiment taught them something new about collaboration. Eli was constantly amazed by Lyra's intuitive understanding of life, and Lyra was fascinated by human problem-solving and creativity. Word of their work began to spread through the alien research community. Some were skeptical, seeing humans as fragile and unremarkable. Others watched with awe, realizing that humanity's combination of curiosity, adaptability, and courage made them unique. Eli felt pride, not arrogance. Pride in what humans could accomplish when they worked alongside others. One evening, as the twin suns dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the vibrant landscape, Lyra floated beside Eli, her expression serious. "Human, there is something you must understand. The device. It is not just a tool. It is a bridge. It connects worlds, species, and minds, and through it your kind is seen differently." Eli studied her face, his own eyes reflecting the glow of the bioluminescent forest. "I understand. Humans have always survived by adapting, but now, perhaps we can thrive by inspiring, not just through strength, but through creativity and care." Lyra's eyes glimmered. "Yes, and together, we can show the galaxy that life in all its forms is worth protecting, that humans are worth watching." Eli smiled, feeling a warmth that had nothing to do with the suns. The growth device pulsed gently at his feet, almost as if it agreed. In that moment, he realized that humanity's place in the galaxy was not just about survival. It was about hope, ingenuity, and the courage to touch the unknown and make it flourish. For the first time, he felt certain of something greater than any human invention, that humanity itself, curious, brave, and compassionate, could change the galaxy in ways no one had imagined. And as the stars began to twinkle in the alien night sky, Eli and Lyra stood together, guardians of life and proof that even in the vastness of space, courage and creativity could make a difference. The galaxy had not yet seen the full potential of humanity, but soon it would. And with the growth device humming softly, ready for whatever came next, Eli knew that this was only the beginning.